Good times, everybody. Welcome back to ZSR and some more Crosskeys action. We have a 4-1 match between Paulinhoy and Jaejo. I got Rocky, who's going to start out calming. I'm going to help him, and then later on, Aladdin will come show us the world and join us. Jaxie is tracking. I'm also helping him. And when Aladdin shows up, he'll take over calming and I'll go over the tracking full time. So I am Tommeltak, your restreamer. How are you doing tonight, Rocky?
Good. Yeah, looking forward to a great race. Of course, this is a big one for both these runners. Is one more, whoever wins tonight's guaranteed to at least make the play-in race. So, and yeah, it should be a fun one. All dungeons, starting flute, starting mirror scroll, starting pseudo boots. We're going to be going fast, and we're going to have a lot of entrances to check right out of the gate.
Yeah, which is always fun because it's always like an overload, which gives its own type of challenge over just starting out with nothing.
Yeah. Maybe it's, we saw a race yesterday where they started immediately with Moon Pearl and how fast that was. Having these little things right away can make a big difference in how fast these seeds can be. So
Definitely. Welcome into Zelda with the party of 23. How are you all today?
yes, welcome in Raiders and Zelda.
Here
Thanks
we
for
go.
bringing your crew over.
Opposite starts. Key to Misery Mire and Quake. Okay, and we're in the woods today. Oh, look at that. Baby seed. Moon Pearl like 2 seconds in.
We're really going to be going fast now.
Oh, bombs in the bush crap. Game's just giving you everything today.
Yeah.
Watch this be a sword in the C shape. Nope, it's not. But
No.
watch it be though.
Oh, but there's a glove there on drop down, so
Just opening everything up. All right. So this race is all dungeons. They're starting with the pseudo boots, the mirror scroll, and an activated flute. So all the movement and all the dungeons. So it's all the things. So should be a good race. We got Super Bunny over here on Paulinhoy's side. Half magic. She needs something to use it with.
yeah, I'm gonna try to take notes as to where we're finding entrances so that I can keep track, and we'll see how this goes.
Good luck. I should do that more than I do. Right into the back of Escape. I missed it. Did we see what was on the Lumberjack?
I think Lumberjack was on Lumberjack.
Okay. We got a big key to Mire, so we got a big and a small Mire. Just gotta find it, and maybe with some fire. Oh, there's Ganon. Ganon is at Useless Fairy.
Now it's a question of what is going to be behind the Ganon climb.
Yeah. I mean, Airborne Muffins, it could be Mire behind Quake. It's vanilla entrance. It is possible.
Yeah, so we got the well at Sank, so we're going to drop down there and grab those 5 items.
That's nice.
Which are for sword.
Watch, we get a mirror here too, right?
Oh.
Well, there's the bombs you needed.
Good thing, lucky for Jaejo, we got some bombs.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting all kinds of good stuff right at the beginning here. You know, you like to have the mix, and you don't have to orphan anything, really. And the sword is good for the boot start. Well, pseudo boot start.
Yeah. Yeah, at least we can poke things while we run, so...
One of those is mitts. I'll get there eventually. You'd think with how many times I've used this tracker at this point, I would know where everything is on, not be clicking the wrong items. And here we are.
My problem when I do tracking isn't the items. My problem is remembering the order that the dungeons are in for some reason. I'm like, is that was that Ice Palace that I clicked or Thieves Town?
Yeah, that I know. I mean, the dam helps because it gives you like a place to be like, okay, this is small, so what's going to be order after that?
All right, so that was Spec Rock there in CAC. Nothing on top there.
No,
And there's Useless Fairy.
We could all be young and, able to see things and remember things, Jaxie. So was that Vanilla Bat, or was that Useless Fairy?
That was Useless Fairy.
That was Useless Fairy. Bat's on the right, Fairy's on the left. I always get... It takes me a moment.
Nah, it's good. There's a couple dungeons like that too, when like people jumping in and out of. I was like, wait a sec, was that this or that? Because it's so easy to get, just take those quick peeks and be confused about what you're seeing. So.
Ooh, Meyer Shed is in Cacarito. Some more money. At least they get the ball vendor now. I don't think he was able to get it before.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I don't think he had the money. Oh, our first look at TR.
We're gonna get the Deathmount and Ascent entrance over here with those mitts. Oh, it's a hookshot cave. So that's a fun connector with the Moon Pearl. It's not even like a really risky one either. Oh, the mire thickens. I mean, that's...
Yep.
You get a fire source and you're all set. I mean, you would like something to kill Vitreous with that wasn't Kane, but half magic Kane.
Alright, so we've seen two TR entrances now.
Paulinhoy forgetting that he already got the items in the Mire Shed. That's right, you still need boots or hook to get into Mire. Good point, Telethar. Oh, what was that? That Moldorm just ate that bomb blast. Smoldorm.
First Hyrule Castle key. Oh, and
There's the mirror.
There's the mirror. Okay, so this seed really is just gonna be wide open for these runners.
Yeah. Find a connect to the Dark World and just walk it. Don't even come back to the Light World. Just do everything from the Dark World.
Don't even have to walk it since we've got boots, so...
Yeah, run it, yeah. So has there been anything in TR I haven't noticed? Is that where that blue boomerang was, or...?
Yes, that was
the big key chest?
The big key chest, yeah. Okay. But present, that's the only thing I've seen. These are going to come out the connector that we've already seen.
Put them right in Kakariko. Right? Yeah, right in Kakariko. What does the race game got for us today? Small key.
That was a piece of heart, isn't it?
I thought it was a small key. What do you say, chat? Small key, piece of heart? What did we see there? There's the bottom of Spectacle Rock, and Paul's not going to go after the map.
Chat says heart.
Chat says heart. Alright, I'm wrong. Not the first time, won't be the last time.
So JoJo doing the drop down, so this will give us exit here that we haven't seen. And that'll complete our Spec Rock entrances.
It looked golden to me when I saw it, so.
Okay, puts us out in in Shopping Mall. French Vanilla Ice Rod Cave.
With the compass. Seeing the other side of the world. On Paul's side. Bomb shop. Let's see, we got Swamp and Skull.
Swamp and Skull, okay. And our 20 rupee cave is our refill ferry location.
Spiral cave on the entrance right before the desert. And we have a desert connector here on the side, like two spaces over from where it would be normally. Nothing on the torch. Piece of art.
Jaejo following Paulinho over there.
Right, his 5-6 crystals. You see we're in the desert. Oh, that's a good spot with the mirror.
Yeah.
What do we got on the floating island today? Yeah, just a piece of heart, but it's still a good spot. So, yep, the icon above the Swamp Palace is the dam. It's for when we find the dam. The dam stays active in this setting, so that tells you whether or not they found the dam or not. When you see a big red X through it, like this, like that, that'll tell you that they found it. They haven't found it just yet. Yeah, it's supposed to be water, yes. Here is already paying dividends for Paul. Speak of the devil, here it is.
First pod key. We need at least 3 of those to be able to really clear everything.
Yeah, it's counter to what you think it would be, but it works. There we go. Desert for the green pendant. Well, Clear Mouse would be happy. She always likes to see desert as a pendant. Nice small.
Nice small. Nice for routing. Don't have to worry about doubling back quite so much.
I don't question how Trez puts the tracker together. I'm just happy he puts the tracker together that works for it all.
And doesn't break.
Ooh. Ether on the library.
Yeah.
And we are abandoning our mirror portal.
We'll come back for it. We've got a couple entrances to check here since I thought he was going to do the mirror portal there and then check these before wandering off, but...
Well, I mean, he can't go back through the mirror portal because it's behind the rocks.
Yeah, he can't. But he's got the... oh, does he need meds there?
He needs meds there.
Alright, so we've now seen the top and bottom of Spiral.
If you want to talk to him about it, Jax, he'd be my guest. There's the other half of Ice Rock Cave. Here, I think Paul's gonna find the well. We got the bottom of Bumper Cave and the potion shop. Never seen that spiral came from Jaejo for 300 rupees.
Yeah, Paul heading to the left here, so he's going to find the well to get his sword.
There's no reason not to just drop since we know where Ganon is now. So what does that leave us? Is that Uncle behind GT Climb?
We have not seen Uncle or Bat. Unless I miscounted it somewhere along the way.
Well, I feel like we've seen all the drop downs at this point.
Then it must be Uncle behind, because I know we haven't seen him, so.
So the castle was the thieves, the ferry was Ganon, sanctuary was the well, the forest was...
Never mind, I do have them all marked. Yep, Uncle is Ganon.
So the two Kakariko, the well and the things were the two, fairy and bat. So yeah, it must be Uncle. Unless they're right here, and we just haven't seen this one yet.
Nope.
Okay, so there's the bat. Got a high five as it goes through the same door into the bomb refill hut thing.
Yep, be a good spot to know
what
where
the hell
it's
that
at,
call is.
Hopefully we won't need it.
So Paul,
I was just call it the refill hut.
Refill hut's a good one. Oh, well, we know what's behind GT. And with that mirror, it's not a bad place to find the way to the mountain. A hype cave. Is it hype today?
22 bombs that you got.
Swamp and...
Oh, we are plenty height.
Sword, a lamp, and a bottle. That's pretty good.
And 300, right? First one was a 300?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So, we're not even to... We're not to Zora money yet.
But we're close.
We are close now, yeah.
So Paul is going to get this map.
Yeah, it's interesting because, like, you know, with this being all dungeons, maps are definitely less important. We don't really care what's where. So kind of surprised to see him grab that map.
Yeah, it was easy enough. It's he did skip that one in whatchamacallit, Spectacle Rock.
Yeah.
Here's the old man. This is all actually in logic for a change. Who would have thought 15 minutes in we can save the old man in logic?
And there is the mirror for Jaejo.
What does the old man have for us today? Oh,
Hammer.
okay.
Hey.
Well,
Then.
that's vanilla dark world access, and then we walk in the laser bridge.
With the key to its own dungeon.
Talking. That's a vanilla key.
Unfortunately, these chests are completely out of logic without either a mirror shield or a safety item.
Ouch! That's sniped. It's alright, third time's a charm. We got this time. Small key to swamp, you like that.
Alright.
Pod. And some arrows around it off. And he's got
We
the
got a
cane,
four,
and
not
he's got the
five.
lamp, so let's go back to Crystal Roller Room while we're here.
Jaejo sees that heart piece is on race game, flutes away to the mountain.
Makes sense. He'll find his laser bridge right here. Just as Paul goes back out again. I have no idea what this entrance is. The one that Paul just went into. Is it just a ferry?
It's a ferry of some sort, yeah.
Oh, Paul did. No, he did check it, right? Yeah, he did check it. He must have checked it. I'm pretty sure he checked it. Hookshot ferry cave. Okay. So is that like the... Okay, I think I know what you're talking about there. Okay, makes sense. Into Village of Outcasts we go.
I figured that was where he was headed, and he started walking up through the forest there.
Jaejo is also going back to Crystal Roller Room, and of course without that lamp, and we find the front of Dismount Descent, the Old Man Cave.
Okay, 45.
Yeah. $20 is $20, you know? I don't know if you ever really think about how many fairy fountains there are in this game until you start playing something like Crosskeys and you just see them all.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate, because even vanilla, you just don't, unless you know where they are and go hunting for one of them for some reason, you just don't run across them, so...
Yeah. He does the checks first, just go straight into Skullwoods. Oh, after Paradox. That's two of our ice small keys. Actually, I think that's all of our ice small keys. I think there is only two, right? Yeah, that's all of our ice small keys. Bug that. Jaejo getting this hammer. Couple maps. Couple maps and a bug net.
Bug net and ice key, but unless one of those connectors up top is in logic, then which with as many entrances as we have access to, it probably is.
Only one way to know for sure. Doesn't look like he's going to go back in and go up. There we go. Now Jaejo has his fire source. What do we have on my village? $20. So, besides the actual entrance, not too much to worry about to find there. And GT.
Yeah, Old Woman entrance there on Spike Cave entrance.
Oh, and there's the other end of that.
Another pod, small key.
Paul is not going to do tile room. At least not right now. Oh, the guard with the trick shot there, knocking away that sign that was thrown at him. Jaejo's going to find everything that Paul did up on the mountain. He's just going to find it on the other side, or from the other direction. And Paul's going to check North and Dark World. Ooh, mushroom.
We haven't seen Potion Shop yet, so get that turned in hopefully right away before we find it.
Here, might as well just continue straight across and do the entrance to Dark World Potion Shop and see what the catfish has. Do Zora, you got the money, well, you're like 4 short of the money for it, so you probably find that on the way. Jaejo going in the front of the Turtle Rock. King for his trouble.
A quick death orb to get a heart refill.
Paul turned around to go into Skull Woods. I mean, he can only do the one check, so I figure he'd turn around.
Yeah, since this isn't Zelda Woods, makes sense to go back and check it.
It's nice to find this Skull Woods with the cane, makes it much easier. We get the big key to Ganon's Tower. Nope, Spike Cave. Flute Spot 5. Bat was in the well, so wouldn't be a bad thing to go after. Do that fake powder and then turn into mushroom.
Yeah.
Key to Eastern. This bow before we find it, that'd be great.
There's our first Brothers connector.
Drop in from this side. Instead of using the key, which not a bad idea, I guess.
You know, you want to save that key for now till you find, in case you find the back, you can do that. Unfortunately, it's not going to get a drop down. That's going to let him go over to the left side without using that key, so it does spend it.
Thankfully, there's 2 of them out there, not just 1. Skull Woods is... What would Skull Woods have? Just a big key to Eastern, pretty much?
Yep, so just that big Eastern. Jaejo's going to show us the other side of Brothers connector. And not get locked out, thankfully, but...
That's good knowledge to get. Okay, it's Paul's turn to do Spectacle Rock, which was just, I think, 20 rupees maybe? Something like that? Something. It wasn't anything.
Par piece, yeah. It was, yeah. Something that I didn't register, so... Oh, there's blind. 300. So actually, that is a good find for Paul. It gives him the money that he needs for Zora.
How's that? That better?
Alright, so a couple full hearts, heart container, and a book in Blind's hut.
There's the old man. in Kakariko.
Yeah, which I think Paul had already seen that's where he was.
Yeah, I must have looked away.
So I'm not sure where Jaejo is, but we did find the front of Hyrule Castle. We missed where that entrance was.
So, Paul, yeah, he used both the keys going through. He used the pinball to come out of the pinball, and he used the one from the back to go left.
Because he dropped down. That's why he ended up keyless. So, he was, even into the pinball room, he dropped down, rather than trying to find the front and going that way to leave himself a key. He dropped down, so he ended up having to spend those keys to be able to clear it.
Missed the first chest in the escape. Wasn't anything good so far? I saw that small key, the pod, which is always nice to find.
I think that does make it the bad woods layout, yeah. Yeah, I don't think that first chest had anything.
Just more money on the big game, so lots of money now that we've got most of what we want to see for routing wise. Dark Cross.
And even in Logic Dark Cross.
Yeah. Nothing in Cave 45.
Stumpy, what you got for us?
Harpies. Which, I mean,
Oh.
Paul is lacking in the health department here compared to Jaejo. He's got about half of what he's got.
Alright, so that was CT1 in Dark Cross.
Oh, fun. It's nice to see that one. So we're there now, you know, if you find it, you can at least get the items in it for now. That was the thing last night. The Turtle Rock Big Key ended up being in the second chest in there. Blue mail on the pyramid. So it's been interesting so far watching it. Paul's been going, and Jaejo have been kind of doing the same checks, but going from the opposite directions.
Yeah. Was that swamp at top right there?
Swamp is in Kakariko. It's the what would be the treasure chest game in the light world. I don't know what the house is, Vanilla.
Yep, I got it. Yep.
Ice Palace. Okay, so that World Potion Shop was the big bomb on the pyramid. There's Meyer.
Meyer.
I missed what it was. They might catch what it was.
Nope. And didn't look over on the restream fast enough.
No, I mean,
Yeah,
was
I
it
know you were talking
Crystal Alert?
Crystal Bandit, yeah.
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 And hello.
Hello.
Welcome,
everybody.
welcome. Alright, I'm gonna go mute and crack buttons, and you guys have fun.
Thank you, Tom, and
Thanks,
Rocky,
Tom.
for carrying
Hello,
what you could
hello.
without me. All right, so I'm looking at the tracker page. Looks like not a huge amount of difference between the two of them.
No, the runners have pretty much cross-paths back and forth. One's coming from one direction, one's coming from the other. Done most of the same checks at this point.
So
This
it
is
looks like JJ is up a book, and that's about it.
Yes.
Do we even know where the book, or do you know where the book was? Like,
The book was in
all about to go
blind.
into it?
The book was in blinds, hut, which I do not remember where it was.
Okay. Oh yeah, and that's right. Paul has a mushroom. Alright, well, I mean, the good thing for these runners is they got to start with a bunch of shit, so it's not like they're going to miss much.
Yeah.
Like, you leave the boots behind, like, it matters obviously, but you're not going to be dropping execution.
No,
Obviously,
and-
the mirror doesn't matter, but because they both have it, but like they would have had that too, and so there's a lot going up.
Yeah, the mirror and the moon pearl were both. I mean, the moon pearl was just hanging out in the forest. So, as soon as Paul came out of the sink, which is in the forest, the
That's a
pearl was
fun
just
scene.
sitting there. So
I love scenes where you get early mirror and pearl. Like, it's just like such a vibe when you play that you just kind of like can turn your brain off and like, oh, here's a connector, I'm gonna go in that, blah blah blah, and just follow through. But yeah, looks like we are mostly even. No dungeons done. Obviously, all dungeons goal.
Yep.
Where's the GT big key that Paul has?
where's the GT big key? Must have been. It must have been. I'm trying to think what Jaejo hasn't done. Jaejo, I don't think has been in Vu. He hasn't been in Skull.
Okay, so probably somewhere on the West Dark.
So somewhere on the west side, yeah.
All right.
And Jaejo plants pod.
Oh, and JJ's up a pod big. Was that the one that was on Zora? Or was that a small key?
I think that was the Zora key. But we'll see that. We'll see soon enough.
Was Paul still in the fake flipper state when you get an item at Catfish? How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't know. That was. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Like that's what happens if like. I guess that's a water walk state, isn't it? So maybe if Paul water walked over here, that would make sense for that. Because that's what happens if you like have water walk and you get a certain item or so. Yeah, I didn't realize that Paul technically was still kind of in a water walk state at that point. Is all it was. All right, so Dark Shopping Mall in Pod. Let's try that again. Pod and Dark Shopping Mall.
Thieves Town big.
Thieves Town big, not clearable here without a bow. But pretty flush in terms of the number of keys. Jaejo, I mean, I think even in normal cross keys, if you do the back with 3 keys, like you should just be doing Crystal, or you should be doing Commerce Hallway. In all dungeons, it seems psychotic to try to save that key. Like, you just need so many more items. Well, I mean, depends on the pendants, obviously, but...
Yeah, and at least with the big key, you're able to clear this big chest out. Don't have to worry about coming to the back ever again.
Okay, here's the book coming for Paul.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is a dead close race.
Yeah, and
Jaejo
the well-
choosing...
The well was the sank location, and that's where our first sword was. So, I mean, these runners have had the goods really early on. So
So this is a pretty chill scene, it feels like. Jaejo's gonna 12 of 14. Is not gonna be able to kill the boss, and is not gonna be able to get the big key chest. But Jaejo is going to have a strong pullback once a bow shows up, and probably if 2 more pod smalls show up. Obviously, Jaejo's going to lose 1 more pod small. You see a quick potion glitch coming from Jaejo.
Alright, so this is Paul's first trip into Hyrule Castle, but we know that the Frontier is going to have a blue boomerang, and Dark Cross is going to have our first CT key. But besides that, there's nothing of note.
I mean, that CT key is about as valuable of an item as you can find.
Yeah. Saying it's this, this mode, is pretty much fine. It's pretty much find your CTs, smalls, and then after that, start thinking about what skips you can make, because until you have both those CT smalls, it really matters that you're checking everything and not leaving anything to come back.
Okay, that was a pod small for Paul as well, and wasn't it?
Oh, yep. Must have been, because he was only on pod 2, I think.
So he should be on pod 4 now, I think, if he was his tracker had pod 3 on.
That was pod 4 for him.
Paul using the Dark Link sprite, which everybody who plays knows gives you about a 12% buff to execution. Like, seriously, look at the set of people who use that sprite and try to tell me anything other than that.
That's fair.
It's like a murderer's row of people who tend to use Dark Link.
Right, we're getting a new check on Jaejo's side.
This is, I think, should be out of logic, though, unless there was a connector to Dark Shopping Mall, which I don't think there was. Because this was in pod, which should be flippers locked. That's a little bit of a TBD. So, indirectly, both Thief Town's keys were in pod?
Yeah.
This is, I'm going to assume, an entrance that Paul has not checked. Unless he has had Meyer access, since he did just get the book right after I came.
Yeah, no, we have not had Meyer access yet.
So there's some pretty juicy dungeons out there. Full clearable Meyer has not been found. Sure. Uh-huh. Let's see, because we're looking for what? Full clearable Meyer. Okay, so Paul has Meyer. Paul's found Meyer.
Can't do Meyer. We can't do Meyer yet. We don't have anywhere to get into Meyer.
You're right. I got baited by the pseudo boots.
It's okay. We did earlier as well. So
I did the exact same thing. Like, oh yeah, like they got boots. Nope. You can tell which of these two runners or which of these runners has those enabled, and which commentator has I am touching nothing except for ZW. Okay, so Meyer's clearable if they get hooker boots. Thieves Town is just flat clearable if they find it.
For Jaejo, yes. For
yeah,
Paul once
for
he gets over to his
Jaejo.
keys, yeah.
Skullwoods is clearable out of sequence when found, but I mean, if it's a dungeon you have to beat, like there's no reason why these runners are gonna. I guess I don't know. Like Paul, I think I don't say he's a newer runner. I think he's more of an NMG runner. If I remember kind of his origin story correctly, is that he kind of showed up and had a really, really nice run in the 80 KDB tournament, making it to, I want to say, the semifinals? It was either the finals or the semifinals. But so there is a world where, like, if you aren't as experienced in entrance and more experienced with playing with things like that, that maybe you aren't as familiar with that bomb jump. That being said, that is quite literally the easiest bomb jump in the game. you literally just, and like, especially if you dash boots, like the timing isn't even a thing. You literally just dash, you enter the room, you dash north, go flush with the wall, walk right, drop bomb, and then just spam your sword slashes, because your sword slashes will get you get those off you, and then the wall monster time will work out perfectly for you too. There's Ice Palace, which we are lacking any source of fire to be able to do for Jaejo.
I guess there's a little bit more. I thought, meh.
Yeah, so the pod key is, I think, what was in the front of Escape.
So when we have seen Ether Medallion on Library,
okay,
which I think was in. I didn't mark it for some reason. But I know Paul has seen it.
Nothing, but it's not.
No, it's not nothing.
Valuable.
Not in this mode. It's not particularly valuable. It's just kind of one of those, like, he knows where it is. If for some reason he would need it.
So looking at things that I think would like really be the big ticket items to find, I feel like Mitts is probably Mitts, or maybe like Hookshot, depending on the connector ability, are the things that would really like open up a lot of entrances in the world. The Mitts get you to the Mire area, obviously, and then the desert area by extension. So that's a lot of value there. Some of the other ones are like obviously good items. The boots give you more boots entrances, and I guess technically an ether, but. And yeah, Paul did just clear out the front of TR on one TR key. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
I don't hate it. He's cleared out all of TR except for right side.
I think I would like it a lot more if he had a fire rod. Because like the thing is, the game can't really afford to be subtle when it wants you to go through Turtle Rock entrances. Like when the game wants you to go through Turtle Rock. Oh, his Ether Tablet there has the fire rod. And well, I don't think Paul's going to be particularly late to that one, as he is also about to find his fire rod. This might actually be really annoying for him, though.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I wish we had a face cam for him right now to see that expression when he picked that up.
Was front of Turtle Rock? Front of Turtle Rock was Dark World Laser Bridge, right? Not Light World. If it was Light World, Paul could just like. It was Light World. Okay, cool. So Paul could actually now do this, where he hammers across and immediately jumps back down. Obviously, he's going to need an extra TR key, but like. TR keys are the single most fungible item in Crosskeys. Maybe slightly less so in key drop, but like in normal Crosskeys, TR keys are the like easiest thing that you could possibly need. Like I've had seeds with a TR key go mode, but they are very rare and they rarely matter. And Paul does not have a hook shot, and so he gets to do the Rite of Shame.
Jaejo does remember the lack of hookshot.
I don't know if Telethor's here, but I'm sure he would want me to remind people that it is actually possible to go that direction and still make it through the door. But, and we certainly do care because it is all Dungeon Pikachu.
Yes, I was just gonna make that comment.
Like it does sometimes happen, but it is very rare. Like, I had a seed once where Moon Pearl was on Laser Bridge. The only accessible TR entrance was the front. And it was just, like, brutal, but it's still not
brutal.
particularly interesting. like, the game will not be subtle in those cases. It will be, here you have 4 Turtle Rock keys. You just last location your Master Sword. Congratulations, you just found the front of Turtle Rock at Castle Tower. Go have fun.
So
what else are you going to do?
We saw Paul use the flute and then remember where the drop down for bat is, so...
We got some, this is some nice hand-holding here. Yeah, so I would guess from what I've seen, Jaejo's up a little bit in item count in terms of raw checks done. I don't think either of them use trackers that surface it, but let's see. Now they're both using what looks like Muffin's tracker.
Yeah, I can see. We can see Jaejo's tracker, but I can't see if Paul's using an entrance tracker. Unless he's using
but the only one I can think of that I know actually does actually surface this is Paul, you do not have boots. The only one I can think of that actually surfaces it is Codeman's Emo Tracker pack. And he is very clearly using a web-based tracker. This Ice Palace seems like a pretty solid play to me. Like, you're gonna orphan the big chest unless the big key is here. And yeah, I would say yeah. Like, this is just like Paul's been losing a little bit of time the last couple minutes just to like a little bit of suboptimal movement things, like shit like the Loop of Shame in Turtle Rock or going to Mire there. But otherwise, did Jaejo just die?
Yeah, I'm trying to get race rooms up and stuff right now to double check to see what's going on. And then I can. Hopefully not.
I'm gonna check Jaejo's stream.
I'm just getting to it now. I just want.
Okay, Jaejo's actual stream is up. It just okay. We're back. I think Jaejo's supposed to drop for a second. A little bit of a scary moment, but yeah, we're going to see both runners here probably do a 7 of 8 in Ice Palace. Canis Mario makes this nice and quick. Half Magic makes this fight quite easy. Both runners on... Oh, Paul actually skipped the blue mail on Pyramid.
Yeah, he did. Which was weird, and just early for him. He did not have... He was late to getting all of the hearts that he has now, where he's pretty much matched with Jaejo. For a while, I think even when he found Blue
he was only he didn't. I don't know the color ticks on the Dark Link sprite. Tom just baited me into looking stupid. Little does Tom know I actually don't need any help on that front.
Jaxie, you're not supposed to say that out loud.
I mean, like realistically speaking, there are people who will skip stuff like that. Just because they'll say, "Hey, I'm confident enough in my movement and like the lack of damage I'm going to take that I don't feel I need it." Crosskeys is one of those modes that when you get to the end, you tend to be pretty well geared.
Yeah, 100%. Like I never, later in the game once we get 7-8 hearts, it's definitely most runners would automatically skip a single mail. It's just like I said, when he got it, he was only on like 4, so. That is not a skip. And now I know the Dark Link mail color lore. Thank you, Traff Guy. And we're also getting to see both flavors of the non-standardized Palace Bomb jumps. And Jaejo's stream is just having some issues. We're seeing same thing on his personal stream.
Yeah, if you go to his personal stream,
so...
he's got the not like this. But he is in the middle of fighting Coldstare right now.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get back around the same spot here. If not, we will let you know what's going on.
And we have a Tempered Sword on Cold Stare. As okay, well, sorry. I'm just gonna close Jaejo's tracker. Jaejo's stream is like 5 or 6 seconds ahead of the personal stream, so like it came back on the exact same frame, but
yeah, I'm gonna leave it open at this point just to be safe. But yeah, I will try to avoid, try to remember that that stream is 10 seconds ahead basically of what we're seeing. So. And just as a reminder, this is why these runners will also be local recording these races, so that if anything does happen, if there's any questions down the road where they need to validate, they will have the VODs.
Yeah, it's just like for me at least at this point, it's just kind of good race hygiene idea is click start stream, click start recording for any race that actually matters.
Yep.
And my Twitch VODs just go to a hard drive that is very big, and I will delete them most of the time. Yeah, we do have full pendant crystal knowledge. Probably not a big deal. The only way it really matters is if one of those pendant dungeons happens to be in the GT entrance, or Castle Tower, or GT, I guess. We haven't found Castle Tower, so that is in play. We have found GT on Paul's side. We have not found Back of Desert Palace on either side.
GT entrance is dark lumberjack area.
So yeah, Jaejo, I'd say aggregately, Jaejo is down. It looks like the Vu Western Dark World area, and Paul is down in Out of Logic Pod play.
Oh yeah, just points out we did walk out. I forgot we did walk out of GT, so that is something we've already seen.
Okay, we came at the GT entrance. All right, well, Paul once again, or sorry, Tom once again, leaving me enough rope to sound like an idiot with. All right, and we have the Forbidden Vanilla Warp in Crosskeys, which, with Hammer and Glove, not a thing you see all that often, because it's pretty slow. And that is the Desert Small Key on the shovel. I suspect we will likely see our runners just kill Landmo if they find it and can, but this does mean that there's a world where like Paul finds desert and wastes a room or two being like, I'm gonna go steal the key.
Yeah, we've already seen all desert except for we don't know where the back is yet.
Yeah.
So
we haven't seen the right side though, right?
Yeah, we haven't unlocked that side though.
Because no one could have stolen the key. So there is a world where like Paul maybe sees it and says, oh, I'm gonna steal this key. So we got a couple diverging paths with this hookshot. Paul is going for Hookshot Cave, and Jaejo is heading right to Meyer. Following the ACBD strategy. Yeah, and now Darklink's eyes are looking pretty mad. But I think this is true in a lot of normal Crosskeys, but it's even more true in all dungeons, is that when you have dungeons you can be doing, it is very rarely a bad idea to do them. But yeah, I would say right now, this is pretty even. Jaejo has the slight, I'd say, check advantage, and I would say Paul has a little bit of an exploration advantage. And that hookshot actually makes a lot of sense too, or them going for that hookshot, sending Paul to GT makes sense, whereas Jaejo doesn't know where GT is, hasn't been to this area, and so is maybe going to be a little bit reluctant. You cannot full clear this on one key. You can do everything but map chest though, and I suspect that is likely what we're going to see. And odds on, I suspect we will also see a GT small in here anyway, so Paul could just end up doing map chest. But I mean, this climb is going to be hard required. This is all dungeons.
Yeah, we did get a TR small in Meyer.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe Paul ends up needing that, but as previously said, about as fungible of an item as you can find in.
Yeah.
If those were tokens, someone would definitely funge them. Anyway, it's been great being here. I'm about to get kicked off for that comment. Does Tom know he can't kick me out? I'm the tournament organizer. The power dynamic is inverted here.
I don't know, he's the restreamer. I think he can do whatever he wants at this point.
Yeah, but I have source code access to the mayor, and I don't think Tom wants to mess with somebody who has source code access to the mayor. I'm pretty sure by it. Hey, look, it's a GT small in GT. No way. Okay. So that hook was an ice palace.
Yep.
That is a logical double dip of ice. It didn't have to be. This was sequence break. Well, a lot of people, when they find this with the hammer, will sequence break Stalfos Room specifically. But I also understand not wanting to be like, oh, I'm just going to do this because you're not allowed to hover in this race.
There's Bombos.
That one is unfortunately also hookshot locked because we already have a hookshot locked GT small. But that would have been very funny if that had actually been the required sequence. The map chest not requiring is like my favorite dumb thing in Crosskeys.
Well, and that's for GT small locked anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, that's why I said it's still hookshot locked, because we have a hookshot
right.
locked GT small. And so we're way out of logic with that. But it's still one of my favorite little bits of logic in the game. As Jaejo is going to be hitting Vitreous here.
On the map of Distension.
I mean, Trez should scare you more than I do, Tom. Trez has way more access to stuff than I do. And he has a lot more oomph at ZSR. I'm just here to shitpost in chat half the time. Yeah, so I have to assume by coming here instead of Meyer, Paul is basically signaling, you know what, like, I'm completely fine to mimic clip this stuff. As this GT basement is a what's what of yikes and if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that was our third big key. Interesting enough, at this point, as far as we know, only one of them is required, so...
Yeah, but I mean, you're always going to want to be in a position where you can do some of this stuff together. So like Swamp Big Key is nice to have for Paul. Skull Big Key would be nice for Jaejo to get to before he goes to Skull Woods. No, I don't think... I think Paul is a Brazilian runner who was more of an NNG player and showed up and kicked a lot of ass in the ADKDB tournament and is having a pretty solid run in this tournament too. Like, this is...
Yeah, I've seen his name a few times. I believe you're right that he is a Brazilian runner. But yeah, like you said, he kind of did show up one day out of nowhere on the rando scene, and everybody was like, "Whoa."
Okay. Paul is gonna have everything he needs for a pod when he finds it if he can get a bow before he gets there. And I suspect at this point he's probably going to be waiting on flippers. And yeah, that was a very, very nice Armos. But yeah, so Paul's been having a real nice run here the last few months, I'd say. And I don't know if Crosskeys is the like accepted hardest tournament to excel in. It's probably still the hardest tournament to make brackets in. But I mean, both these runners are right up on the precipice. Because the winner of this race is going to go to 5-1, which qualifies you for the play-in race. But yeah, people who are more flush with Brazilian runner history, by all means, please feel free to correct us on anything wrong we say about Paul. But okay, so Paul is opting not to mimic Clip GT. Or maybe saying, you know what, I'm going to do Skullwoods big and then go back because you're like in the area right now. I'm not 100% sure what we're seeing here, but I would guess Paul does not going to end up mimicking this then. If they're all the way this far, we'll probably see a ped check here.
Dream lives for another few seconds.
I mean, I don't think there's a ped dream. I mean, A, I don't think there's a ped dream anyway. We're going to start here. B, I don't think there's a ped dream in Crosskeys anyway. C, there is certainly not a ped dream in all dungeons when you have to do all of them anyway.
It's always a dream for chat.
There's very little. I am on a one-man crusade for fighting Twitch chat.
For Crosskeys, with this layout, there's very little that could have been there.
Yeah.
Like, flippers, maybe? That's one of the only things.
Flippers,
depending on
small.
Where. Yeah.
Ether, mitts.
Now we know where Ether is. Could be mitts.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ether's library. Boots.
Could be boots. We need Ether. Yeah.
So like lots of sort of shrugs. We've seen enough to know that we're not going to find an "oh my god, that must be it" item on there. I guess a bow could be there. Like, that would be pretty powerful information to have to know that a bow is there.
So Jojo found Thieves Town.
Yep, and this is just going to be an 8 of 8 here. These first 4, I believe, should be in logic. The other 4, not so much. So that Total Rock Big is certainly in logic. I swear to God, this cutscene gets longer every time I watch it. Like, every time I watch it, it gets about a second longer. That's why every time I do that chest, it takes me approximately 375 minutes. Which runner audio do they have, by the way, Tom? I'm guessing Jaejo's, if Trails is safe. Okay. Yeah, Trails is safe, so yeah. And I've been listening to Paul's audio for about 20 minutes, and I just tweaked to the fact that he doesn't have background music. It's been a long day for me. We're pushing on 4 hours of me being on ZSR today, after that multi-world match.
That was that multi-world match. I didn't get a chance to flip over.
It was a lot of fun. I am very, very outspoken that I think tournaments that you do not play by yourself tend to be a lot more fun. It ended up being a very close race. We lost by a 45-second average, I think. Yeah, it was real close. And I mean, honestly, like, it's a mostly for fun tournament, and so I'm not going to get too beat up either way. But yeah, it's been a long day, so my mind's a little frazzled. This definitely started with Tom after the race being like, "So, are you doing anything in an hour and a half?" And I'm like, I mean, yeah, Schulzer's time was 10 minutes ahead of his counterparts, and then both of the other 2 of us were up about 4 minutes on our opponents. But I mean, that's how it goes. As I have kind of zoned out through this Thieves Town, but I don't think other than the Turtle Rock big there's been anything particularly of note.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think there was a Turtle Rock small as well, since Jaejo's number seems to have gone up. So no worry about orphaning Thieves Town big chest, which is actually pretty important for Paul, because I definitely think there is a world where he does not have that Thieves Town small. I mean, in all honesty, Gabriel, I have nothing but respect for runners who are like, I understand how I play, and I understand what messes with me, and so I'm going to put myself in a, like, position where I'm in the best position to win. Like, I think that's absolutely the smart thing to do. It is the same reason why you will never see me play a seed with heart beeps, because when those heart beeps start, my blood pressure doubles.
Yeah, I use vanilla music. I don't know that I would ever be able to use an MSU pack, because like that, I think I would just get too distracted.
I use exclusively MSU packs, or I will turn off background music if I'm like listening to Spotify. The one big problem I have is if I pick MSU packs that have too good of songs in the GT climb, I am disproportionately more likely to decide to climb whether it's a good idea or not. It's not, like, intentional. It's not obvious, but I definitely, like, know which MSU packs I have that are like, oh, I love this GT music, and I 100% guarantee that I climb more often in them. So Jaejo is starting to build up a little bit of a dungeon lead. He's up 2 dungeons. Moldorm barely counts. But he's like down like the GT basement still. So yeah, this doesn't feel like anyone has a particularly strong or notable lead right now. I think there's a few things that maybe could do it. Oh, Paul picked up a bow when I was not looking, and that's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, where did the bow come from?
I was trying to watch the Thieves Town, and then all of a sudden there's a bow. And that's really interesting too.
Apparently
is that desert connector out there to Meyer? Tom, you are killing me. Sorry, this is gonna be a bow. Hold on, let me peek the spoiler log one more time to help you here, Tom.
That's gonna be vanilla back to desert.
So this does make it pretty significantly less likely that the mitts are going to be required in this seed. Having this connector. Meyer is like by far the biggest set of bit slots entrances. Jaejo's gonna do Paradox Cave that Paul has already been through.
Yep. We've seen Cave 40. We've seen.
Paul's gonna need his bow in Darkagina. Look, if I just call a bow in every check, it's gonna work eventually. Like, seriously, for proof, watch. Paul's gonna get his bow right here in Checkerboard Cave. Okay, well, maybe not.
I thought Paul had already come through that connector, because I know Jaejo had.
So it looked like Paul had.
I'm guessing he
had. He certainly had bombed it.
Yeah. Yeah, he bombed it from that side.
I'm guessing Paul hasn't come through, though, because he wouldn't have walked through. He just would have walked out. No, Jax, you have to understand, the secret is you call it for everything, and then you forget to call it for one check, and then bam, bow. Like, if that had been a bow on Potion Shop, would have been negative surprised. Okay, so that mushroom that Jaejo is still trailing, not going to make a difference here. I always kind of chuckle when I see one of two runners go for that stair hook speed in CAC. When I see either Jaejo or Arm, because there was a fairly infamous race where it was the very, very last race of the week, which, if you know anything about how people tend to act, means that people are like, oh my god, where are my Swiss matchups right away? It was on ZSR, and Arm and Jaejo were like, I cannot, like, they were within a second of each other, fluting to 3 to get to Lost Woods for Ganon with 7 crystals. And I think Arm goes up for the hook speed, and Jaejo doesn't, or Jaejo goes up and gets it, and Arm fails it like 2 or 3 times, and Arm loses like 9 or 10 seconds just getting to Ganon at that point. And like, I'm privately freaking out in the admin channel because like, oh my god, like, it's the last match of the week, we're gonna have to retry that, like, we're gonna have to retime this to make sure that like the right winner came in, and Arm was generous enough to donate 10 seconds and not make it worthwhile. Pichu, I just dropped you for the from the tournament for that comment. Sorry. But we're down a Jaejo again. We got a bird down.
He did just come back up, so he'll be back on stream shortly.
Alright, and he's just doing, that was the gnarliest effect on the restream. What the heck? It's like an LSD haze over it. Okay, so Paul's still going through some of these trackers. Okay, so this is a horrible thing to have to check here in any seed where you are required to kill Aga. But here comes Jaejo to get his goods out of Skullwoods. Notably, he is doing this before he does GT, which means if he wants that Skull Big Chest, he is going to have to come back here. He can at least, though, do the Ped check and Skullwoods entrance check.
And Paul's already been through Skullwoods. You know, we'd already seen him go through Skullwoods, so that was him getting the big key was a one-off real quick, so...
Yeah. So like Jaejo's up a little bit of mandatory progression, but I think Paul is up on aggregate clear rate. That being said, aggregate clear rate isn't like the be-all end-all, because things like, yeah, I have 22 items I haven't touched in GT. Sure makes your clear rate look better, but your opponent's going to be able to catch up on efficiency pretty quickly there too. Alright, so this Hera Big, I believe, was unchecked by Jaejo. I do not believe he still doesn't have it, so I'm going to say yes. This also means that I think Paul is less likely to come back here for Thieves Town Small, which is in Hera Basement. We know already that it will not affect things, so this is potentially a kind of swingy moment here. And like all swingy moments, it is a lot of hype and a lot of nothing.
And Paul, forgetting that we're not playing with real boots, tried to bonk the chest there to get to bump across.
I would have done the same thing. 100% I would have done the same thing. Well, especially because some of the bonks actually do work in pseudo boots.
I thought none of them worked in pseudo boots. Which ones does work?
You can bonk over the gap to Armos Knights with pseudo boots still.
Hmm.
But yeah, so here comes Jaejo. He's going to pay back that basement tax. Not tremendously surprising. This is a set of checks you do in almost every seed, and you know what? Like, you're pretty happy if you are Jaejo and being able to basically do this all in one go. And he is missing the GT big key from, I think we said, the VU area. So he's going to end up orphaning the GT big chest. I don't think that had anything, so it's not important unless Jaejo chooses to go back. And we are joined by the expert on shimmying through rails IRL, apparently. So hello, Zaf. Thank you for your expertise on the matter. Oh, it was Skullwood's big key in GT Chess. That's actually kind of good for Jaejo then, because he never goes back for that. Like, unless he, like, really gets to a dead last location. So this, I think this is going to actually play out kind of well for Jaejo. Where I suspect he's lined up to never do the GT Big Chest, but I also suspect Paul is lined up to never do the Hera Basement, so kind of win some, lose some. Alright,
Eastern?
There's Eastern on Hylia Island. Paul's opting not to dip it.
It's interesting. I mean, I know it's never fun to double dip, but we can do
So-
everything except for Armos.
Okay, so I am a chronic Eastern dipper. Let me now defend Paul not dipping this here, which is that I don't think they have had a connector to Ice Palace Island. This is out of logic behind the flippers.
Yes. Yeah, and he knows that. I mean, he knows that it's...
And so
Yeah,
I suspect there's a good chance that Paul will be willing to go back, but is going to wait like, oh, I have the flippers, and at that point, he can do pod, he can go and do a lot of other things on the way. It's kind of harder when you come in late. I feel like we're starting to run up against it, though, in terms of what's actually out there. And there are some pretty good sequence breakable plays available. Like, I think sequence breaking the GT climb is a perfectly reasonable and good play. I think going over to Dark Shopping Mall area for Paul makes a degree of sense here as well. Just because he's missing 3 different dungeon entrances that he wants to find. The one wrinkle in that is he can clear 0 of those dungeons that he hasn't found. He cannot clear Thieves Town because he needs to get the stuff from Pod. He cannot clear Desert, and he cannot clear Pod without the bow. And so there's a world where you like sit there and kind of like, okay, I'm gonna actually hold off on checking new entrances if I can avoid it, because I can't do anything that I would want to be able to find anyway.
At the same time, you've got you're starting to run out of overworld entrances to check, so you've got to start thinking about at what point dipping these dungeons, even if out of logic, to maybe find an out of logic bow or something like that.
For sure. For me at least, and I don't know, I can't necessarily speak to the mind state of these particular runners, but I know for me what tends to happen is the closer I get to running out of logic, the tighter I'm going to grip to logic. And this matters a little more based on what the item is that you're looking for. So, like, the items that they find here that they need, these are all impactful items. Okay, Jaejo did have the GT big. Jaxie just baited me again. Yeah, there you go. There's the one. There's the shimmy across the rail from Jaejo. So like they're in a position where there's not a lot left for them to do. Okay, so there's Spiral Cave. That I think. Okay. Jaejo did the Turtle Rock Big Chest, right?
Yes, and it was nothing.
Okay, because like you're in a position now where it's like, yeah, okay, I just have.
Well, and it's there anyway. So right, we just picked it.
That's why I'm like the TR Big is there, like. Okay, and here comes Jaejo, and he's gonna mimic clip this climb, which I think is a very, very reasonable play.
All right, and Paul can only do the first 4 of Thieves because he's missing both.
Yep, which is kind of unfortunate. This is a nasty place to get to. And like little efficiency things like that do stack up as the mimics have returned.
He had one mimic off. And
oh, you said that in response to I said bonking over. Okay, Zaf missed what I was talking about. I was doing the GT bonk. The TR bonk is not in logic with the boots. So like, it working with pseudo boots isn't actually even that surprising. It is also about the world's freest bomb jump. Okay, so I have to assume we've seen Crystal Roller.
Yes.
And yeah, I think Jaejo has been like, nah, I'm good. Yeah, so I did mention there are some bad checks, and we might be starting to converge on them a little bit. Because Paul is going right back for this Ice Palace big chest. And I don't know that we're down to this, but we're not fighting with a lot left here.
Yeah.
So we've got some options coming here, if this is actually truly a last location, which I'm not convinced of because it's harder to track this stuff when you come in late. I would say on balance, the most likely item for us to see at this point is Flippers. It unlocks Swamp, it gives you Dark Shopping Mall area.
Unlocks Eastern.
Thank you. It's like I play this game sometimes. It's like I play this game sometimes. Yeah, so this is why you will often hear me loudly and aggressively pushing back anytime someone makes some comment about how logic doesn't matter, or like nobody cares about logic. Okay.
What entrance was that?
That's an out-of-logic bow in Spike Cave. So this is in kind of a strange position, which is that, like, I think if Jaejo can track logic here, he's going to be putting himself in a very, very good spot. Because he's finding some shitty items that are not that are logically but not actually hard behind the important items he's going to find.
Right. And unfortunately, well,
but if he doesn't pay attention to logic, there is a world where he ends up Flippers for Go mode and is in a lot of trouble.
as we see those flippers coming right into play as we get our first dive into a swamp. And hello, Mets.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
Right, so Jaejo is doing the Skullwoods big chest.
Yep, so he's coming back for this, which we know is nothing. I believe it was a big 20.
They were in the Ice Palace big chest cage.
Those mitts are also going to open up. Paul's mobility opens a lot, too. Like, this makes it a lot easier to go back to the mire area. You don't have to go through the connector on desert. You just have to flute there. I think there's a decent chance on that, Tom. I think like anything, it's going to kind of depend on A, how well Jaejo is tracking the logic, and B, how much he cares about the logic, even if he is tracking it. Like, maybe you're tracking the logic well, and you just say, I don't care until I'm flippers for go mode. That's not how I play, but it's a perfectly reasonable path to take.
No. Ganon is...
Yes, Pig is behind GT. In that you must defeat the pig, or you must defeat GT to pig. There is a law banning the sale of bacon without appropriate dead wizards or something. I don't know.
Right, okay. Desert big.
So that won't be Flippers go mode for Jaejo. Anytime I see a small key in left side swamp, I start getting a little bit of the shakes with the mayor says it has to be law. Okay,
so we are.
That's a really, really good find for Paul. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's a 6 key locked bow.
Yep, but the important thing here is that Paul gets the single dip pod.
True.
Because Paul is gonna has 5 keys and has the hammer and will have the bow when he finds it. Like, that's a really, really nice pickup.
Well, Ice Rod, we need we need you, so there's one more item that we cross off. So we are in location single small key go mode for knowledge at this point.
Yeah, we need a CT small.
Yep.
And we need
back of desert, back of skull.
Maybe ether, maybe boots. And I think this path is a little more straightforward for Paul than it is for Jaejo. Again, all subject to how Jaejo's tracking the logic, how you feel. Like, even very, very good runners will lose the logic sometimes. Like, there are things that don't necessarily come up all the time, and so they may know it, but they may not necessarily associate with it. But I think the path for everything Paul is missing is a little more natural than the path for what Jaejo is missing. I, in fact, was thinking about that race. I just didn't want to insult somebody who was in that race. It might be sensitive about it, Tom. And is active in chat right now. And it's a small thing, but like, Jaejo's gonna be spending some time doing some of this, like, fake flippering to... Like, these are little time loss look at you.
I restreamed so many of these, I don't even remember who's in any of these fucking races anymore, so...
Yeah, I getcha.
Yeah, Tom,
well,
you've done so
in order
many
to
this tournament, it's ridiculous.
In order to protect the innocent, I will just tell you that it was a race between someone who might be named Kafakel and someone who might be named Zlinks.
Mostly that's my backhanded way of saying, if I insulted anybody in chat right now, my apologies, I didn't mean it.
I don't think... Zaf and I have a pre-existing relationship that, I know what things will dig on him a bit if I say them, so I specifically chose not to say them.
Oh, hello, CTQ.
So about that very, very natural go mode path for Paul.
Yep. He is... So he's a bow and a TR big or a Thieves Town big key.
Unless he needs the boots.
Unless he needs the boots.
Which right now is sitting there as a... very, very big open question.
He's a Tom what? Zap. Hi, Tracy.
So this is in logic now for Paul. I would not be surprised to see him leave it. Yeah, okay. I'm 0% surprised to see him leave this. Because I think what you're doing right now, if you're Paul, is you're going to say, hey, how many of these entrances that I'm missing can I get to? Can I get to Pod? Can I get to Skull Woods? Can I get to Desert? We know the answer to Pod is yes. We do not know the answer to Skull Woods. We do not know the answer to Desert.
And once he gets to Skull or Pod, then he'll be more incentivized to go finish Eastern, knowing that it's finally in logic.
But this is also a world, I think, where, like, if Jaejo has the logic tracked and on brand, like, I think he's in a really good spot here. If he can say, you know what, like, I am down to very, very little, I have these 3 checks, he's gonna get back to those flippers real quickly. Whether he does left side first or not is a little bit of an option, because if he doesn't do left side first, he might not do left side at all. But yeah, now Paul's gonna be paying back some of this dungeon clear tax. But this dungeon clear tax is gonna end with him in potential go mode. Okay. I think this is a commit to full clear of the dungeon. Which, I mean, like this... Oh, never mind. Okay. Paul is routing this differently than I would, and this is going to actually work out fairly well for him, but... With no bow, I think the more common way to do this is that you just route all the way to the back, because you can full clear everything there. And then you mirror, do big key chest, sequence break right side. And Paul there with the honorary, oops, my hookshot wasn't actually out at the top of the... Yeah, so this Thieves Small is pretty cooked for Paul, but it doesn't matter. Also, we're missing a Pod 6 or a... We're missing Pod 6 or a Cape for Logic, because that's a bow-locked Cane of Burna. But I think there's a world for both these runners where you say, hey, like, I want to sit here and I'm going to start understanding what is available, what is possible. Entrances suddenly are a very, very important currency to pick up. Maybe you wait a bit on it, seeing, like, do I just snag boots in on-the-way dungeons? But so, for instance, if I'm Jaejo, even when I get these flippers, if I haven't checked every entrance I can reach by then, I still care more about finding Eastern, finding Skull, less so finding Desert without the Desert Big Key.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, these have to be, you know, boot flocks, so we have to find boots maybe in Eastern. Yeah, maybe one behind Meyer entrance. I don't think we haven't been able to get in there. But again, that's boots locked because the medallion is boots locked, and there are our boots. Never mind.
Well then.
And gold sword.
And there's the sword. Okay. So yeah. Paul has a very natural path to go mode at this point. But Paul is down raw stuff to do with this.
There's the back of desert.
So Paul's down a pod, which he is obviously about to finish right now, a Thief's Town, and a GT climb. He is up a Swamp Palace. Left side swamp is required. I think at this point, by the time Jaejo gets to Swamp, he is going to be Ice Rod, CT Small, and Desert Big for go. And there's a question of whether Jaejo A is the kind of person who is... if Jaejo is the kind of person who is going to say, you know what, like, I am 3 items from go mode, I'm going to do left side first, and then doesn't miss the Desert Big. Or do they say, hey, I'm going to do the back first, see if I can find something, and if I don't find something, I will come back in for left side swamp.
Right.
This to me is actually saying that Jaejo likely has a hold on the logic, though. Because I do think that Hera Big Chest was one of those things that actually was still in play for Jaejo.
Yeah, I think
and
so.
in a world where he wants to find all of these items, the fact that he went back for that is actually a pretty important suggestion. But I mean, we know all of these boots checks are dead. Like, boots are going to be go mode for Paul. I'm curious what his sequencing is going to be.
Yeah, at this point, Paul just needs to get to the climb.
Yeah. So the sequencing on this that matters. Okay, yep. So like I said, Jaejo had the logic. And I wasn't sure about it until I saw the Hera Big Chest, and then I was pretty sure he had it. So Jaejo is on the path, but has one more very important decision to make. Paul is on the path and has, I'd say, a medium decision to make. Which is that, what is the order that you do these dungeons in? So one thing working against Jaejo is, I think, going to be, to a degree, those myths showing up really, really early in Swamp Palace. Because that's going to open up more stuff for him to say, hey, here is stuff that you can do. And so that might help take him away from this. Alright. Okay. I want to see what Paul does here.
It was going to go clear his turn.
I hope he's... So I think the unambiguously correct answer for Paul is to climb GT. And I'm hoping he's going to do it so I can say why without, like, sounding mean. And this is a play towards the area GT is, and so I actually do think this is a I'm going to go climb GT play.
He turns up here, it's gotta be GT. Nope.
No.
No, we don't want the Smith. Be this.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to explain this anyway. I don't... I think Paul is doing this probably because he wants to check hammer pays because he's looking for entrances here. Speaking of things that work with Suda Boots, hammer dashing. So, the thing I would say for Paul is one of the, like, textbook golden rules when you are playing a mode like this, as we're finding Skullwoods here for Paul, which is a thing he's going to have to do. And I believe No, it's a crystal. So goodbye, Mr. Smith.
Yep.
It's not so ABCD is what people will say is like always be clearing dungeons. It's not even that. You need to prioritize things you have to do over things that you might need to do. And you can look at this and say, you have to do Skullwoods, you have to do Desert, you have to do GT, you have to do Eastern, so these are all the same play. But there's a lot of like micro decisions in these dungeons that you can make. And so I don't have a problem with like looking for Skullwoods. Like, you're here, you don't want to have to like go back and get it. I really, really hope Paul doesn't go back down to get the Smiths afterwards.
Yeah, I would hope that he just, like you said, just starts clearing things that he has to.
I'll say, and Paul, I think, also is going to want to know, do I need these boots? Not realizing these are just on the way. But so, for instance, if Paul does GT first, he should be doing 0 checks in Eastern Palace, or he should be doing 1 check in Eastern Palace, and it's our most nights.
Correct.
None of the checks in Eastern Palace are particularly long, other than the big key chest.
Yeah, because he knows.
But they add up.
Yeah, because he has all his keys. Well, we know he has all his keys that he needs.
Meanwhile, in GT, all 4 of those checks are just on the way. Now, the counter argument to it would to say, hey, you know what? Like, I would love to kill Ganon last, and I think this is Paul making the right play. But it's saying, you know, like, I would love to kill Ganon last, because then I can just kill Aga 2, and, I mean, obviously you're going to kill Ganon last, kill Aga 2 last, because you just drop in the hole and then you're there. Except Ganon's not even there, so please ignore me. I'm so used to people doing this for vanilla, because I'm not as used to all dungeons.
You know,
but yeah.
Honestly, it's, you know, I know a lot of runners think, you know, do Ganon, then, you know, if you can wait to do Ganon, to then flip over, do Aga 1, and then, you know, go wherever the pig is, and save that time. But, you know, with Crosskeys, it doesn't really matter, because we don't know, you know, you're going to have to hunt for Castle anyway.
That's lovely bow logic, by the way. That is beautiful bow logic! But so it's one of those things where, like, it's actually worth waiting on Eastern. It's actually worth waiting on Thieves' Town a little bit, even if you know where they are. Because if you happen to walk into your go mode, and Paul's going to, you get to go mode Eastern. That's not a big time save, but it's a time save. You get to go mode Thieves' Town. He'll probably open some fast checks looking for silvers, which I don't think Paul is going to get. But, like, there's good things here. I think for Jaejo, it's probably on the whole good for him that he is doing Eastern first here. Because one of those things that really would have made it tempting to skip Left Side Swamp is if the first thing you do after this is say, okay, well, I need to just go skip all of this stuff. And I worry the Mitts might still do that for him. But it's a lot more tempting to skip Left Side Swamp when you have an untouched 6-item Eastern Palace that you haven't found yet than it is when you are chilling here and have cleaned this all out. And so obviously, like, Skullwoods is not going to be there because Skullwoods is Mitts locked.
Yeah. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you, Ellendeer, for bringing your community over. We are watching a Link to the Past Crosskeys tournament race.
But anyway, like little decisions like that are decisions I think that you will tell you the difference between someone who is like a good and capable of Crosskeys player and someone who is a really good Crosskeys player who has really internalized the mode. Is that some people would say it's getting lucky. The way I like to phrase it is it's actually more like good runners are very good at putting themselves in positions to get lucky. The luck won't always be there for them, but they're giving the game as much of a chance as possible.
Right.
So good job, Paul. You're going to do 1 extra check that you didn't have to do because you found Skullwoods first, and I don't even think it was wrong. Assuming, of course, he does drop into Uncle after this climb. And then everything else, it's like once you find stuff, like, I am of the opinion that the right next thing to do for Paul is to say, hey, like, I have everything I need, I'm gonna do something like Rote and Mindless, like a Thieves' Town or something, because I really, really want to know. Like, I want to take this time to plan out what is my closing route. Like, what entrances do I check in what order for Desert? What chests am I opening for Silvers? Like, all of these things are things that I think are, like, really important. I've revised my estimate, by the way. I think Paul is clearly ahead, no matter what, at this point.
Okay. It's really just...
Like,
well,
even if Jaejo does left side first...
Yeah.
Like, what... It's a Thieves' Town versus the rest of... Like, in best case, it's Thieves' Town versus the rest of Swamp and... Binding Skullwoods.
Right.
And by the way, this route looks like a route that's going to skip left side first.
And finishing off TR.
And finishing off TR, which is really fast, but it takes time. Like, Thieves' Town, I think, is the single slowest go mode dungeon in the game. So, like, that is working for Jaejo, but I don't think the time is there even if...
So there's the last item that Jaejo needs. Now he knows the key/entrance mode.
I mean, item go mode isn't real. or item go mode isn't real if what you're talking about is like, oh, they just need keys, because keys are treated exactly the same as items in the rando. And so, like, there's no... In fact, I would always, except for the ice rod, I would always rather need inventory items than keys. Alright, so Moment of Truth coming up here for Jaejo. Which is...
Desert is right here, so...
The Desert's right here. Like, it kind of works out that this is such an easy entrance check, like... I'm specifically, like, watching Jaejo's quick swaps, trying to guess if he's going back in. Okay. This is going to be a really close race.
It is.
I think Paul's ahead. Oh, I forgot. No, I forgot Paul still needs Armos. But Jaejo needs to pick the right Mitz entrance to check.
Yeah, he's got to go all the way back to the left side, and then do Desert, and then pick, and then TR, and then pick
I'll say, and
where
Jaejo's up Silvers, which don't matter a lot, but they do matter a little.
yeah.
So Jaejo is basically going to have 3 really fast dungeons. Paul's going to have 1 light medium dungeon and 1 long dungeon. And Jaejo has to check entrances.
And they both still need to climb the castle tower.
And they both have to climb Castle Tower, which doesn't really matter, but it is like aggregate time difference. So, and Jaejo's about to be very happy he did not leave. Paul doesn't give a shit about silvers. If you're not opening up Compass, Chest, and Eastern, you're opening up nothing. Worth noting as well, though, is that the path to get to this, like, it's not just that Thieves Town is slow, the path to get here is awful. Oh, Jaejo's also doing a few more of these checks, which is going to cost time I don't think he has. Yeah, like, that is the one nice thing for Paul, is that he can just do Thieves Town and Castle Tower together. And, like, Jaejo's gonna have to kind of come back here anyway. CT was Spiral Cave specifically, right?
I think so, yeah.
So, Jaejo does not necessarily need to go through Hookshot for this. Yeah, Castle Tower 2 is on Trinex, so as soon as Jaejo goes to Laser Bridge to beat it, he's going to be that in get-go mode. Silvers are in Spike Cave, and Paul is not going to find them.
Oh, CT's left side of the mountain? Okay.
Oh, CT's on both sides of the mountain. I mean, that's doesn't matter. They're not next to each other. They're both whatever. So I'm assuming this is Hookshot Cave for Paul. Yeah. So this will put him in Thieves Town. And you can see this is where, like, the slow bleed starts to get you if you're Jaejo. Where, like, I bet his next entrance here is going to be Ice Palace. Okay, he's going to do Desert first, which is fine. But I suspect he's going to do Ice Palace as soon as this is over. Looking for Skullwoods. You also have the, like, lurking in your mind, the do I need this ether? So yeah, I think with doing the desert stuff, Paul's in a pretty clear lead.
Yeah, and I mean, TR won't be that bad for Jaejo back as that the old man.
As long as Laser Bridge
so
is acceptable, or as long as Laser Bridge is accessible, TR is the single fastest dungeon in the game to beat.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, and it's super accessible. So.
It's like, yeah, it's very, very free. I'm trying to figure out if Jaejo had gone directly to the skull entrance, if he would have been ahead or not. I think I would say probably not.
Yeah, I don't think
But
it
I
would
think
have
it's
been.
like
But I think it would have
20.
been.
I think it would have been like 15 or 20 seconds of difference.
Yeah.
And so if I'm tracking entrances right, he has ice and he has... Okay, so he's doing
This is going to be
Bridge,
Laser Bridge.
So this is going to get him Aga 2. Or this is getting Castle Tower 2. I don't think he's actually going to go do Aga 2 right now. It sure would be inconvenient for us trying to compare if he did Aga 2 now. And I'm sure if there's anything on Jaejo's mind right now, it's making sure he's being as convenient for us as possible.
Of course.
I think with all the extra stuff, Jaejo's probably going to end up being about 2 minutes behind.
He might do that now.
I don't know what question you're asking, Tom.
Because Ega's here. Ega is here as well. I think it's Stuck Rock.
Ah,
Exit front.
this is Light World Laser Bridge. Is Turtle Rock front?
Yep.
I say we are in lockstep with these last dungeons. It's just Jaejo has one more. If Castle Tower's on the west side of the mountain, I don't think you do Aga. If Castle Tower's okay, this makes sense to me for Jaejo. It is really unfortunate for Jaejo. I actually didn't realize the library was right here. It's really unfortunate for him because now he's going to check the Mire entrance and Ice entrance, I think, before he does this. So this is people paying attention at home. You hear people talk about Humbug's rule all the time. This is an actual application of it. Humbug's rule specifically applies to entrance go mode. Stop justifying always doing the Ice entrance. This has been your PSA for the day. Humbug is a very, very good runner. Who has advice that is along the lines of, you should be checking the Ice Palace entrance if you're in entrance go mode before you check the Mire area, because it's one quick one versus 4 ones, and if it's just there in Ice, you're going to feel so much worse. And yeah, Jaejo is just looking for the Skullwoods entrance, which is at Hammer Pegs, which I think is going to be his very, very last entrance. Does he have more stuff here that he hasn't checked? Or is this just the desert connector? Okay.
Connector, yeah. I'm like, I know he's seen this, so you gotta be just using it at
oh, so yeah. Yeah, I'm just wondering what he's connecting to, because if he's going for Hammer Pegs, this has to be real close to be faster than fluting to... Okay. It's not. He's doing Castle Tower.
Yep.
Okay, I was right. It was on Spiral Cave. Tom trying to make me look dumb again. So I mean, I think the good news for Jaejo, or I don't want to say good news, like he's pretty just dead at this point. That is Spiral Cave. That's the Spiral Cave entrance, Tom. That is Spiral Cave.
No, what I'm
I
saying
don't think
is
any
you
of
said
Jaejo's...
Spiral Cave, and I thought you meant Spike Cave. So I got my things screwed up.
Okay. I guess the good news for Jaejo, and this isn't really good news, but it's like he doesn't have to feel like, oh, if I had just checked this stuff in a different order. I think he loses no matter what. At this point,
Yeah.
or not like at the point where you like wanted to say, hey, I'm going to go check entrances. I think he loses no matter what. I think he loses even if he does left side swamp first. Although that would have saved him, I want to say it's on the order of 3 seconds. But this is a really close, very, very good race.
So with this result, as long as it holds, that's going to put Paulinho on to 5-1, which will guarantee him a spot at least in the playoff race.
Ooh, that is a pretty solid dash from Jaejo. Didn't quite get to the torch, but like that's a solid dash.
Yeah. And for Jaejo is in a must-win next week. So
it's at least a 7 GFE. I'll say, obviously with Butter Sword, Paul's gonna have no issues with phase 1 and 2. Okay, look, they're done. Yeah, I think ultimately this is probably going to end up just coming down to the fact that Paul was able to skip a few more things on the way. He didn't clear out Thieves Town. He didn't clear out Eastern. He didn't do Spike Cave, which obviously gives you silvers, but even if Paul had known they were there, I'm not sure he actually goes for that. With a nice triple setup here. I mean, Paul's losing some time here, but he's got plenty to play with. I think we're at about 6
or 7, yeah.
I think we're at about 12. And get your GGs in the chat.
In.
Okay. I wasn't aware Jaejo hadn't done this entrance yet.
Alright, official race time.gg time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, 3 seconds. And Paulinho does take the win. We'll see if he wants to chat, and we'll keep an eye on the race room for what Jaejo does.
And I don't... Different runners have different things they do with respect to finishing races, forfeiting races, looking at race rooms. Like... Anytime I'm like, I would like to forfeit if my opponent is done, then I will peek at the race room when I'm in that mood. Other than that, I will usually finish if I'm in go mode.
Jaejo is going to get his last entrance here.
Oh, so and then you have people like wall kicks who just like literally never look at the race room until they're done. If I'm not tilted, I will look at the race room when I hit go mode, and then I will look at the race room. I will open the race room to prep a .done type when I'm about to drop into Ganon.
I know that's how a lot of runners are, yeah. So nice collection right there, 185. I'm surprised with getting all dungeons and how much we had to do, so.
Yep.
All right, and Paulinho is not going to be joining us for interview. Doesn't think his English is good enough, which is understandable. We will watch Jaejo finish up here. As Jaejo does drop in. And it's going to be even quicker than on Paulinho's side, as he does have slivers. And on to phase 4. Nice golden arrows there. There's silver arrow kill there.
Here comes, yep, and we're gonna get a 209.08 coming in for Jaejo here.
Yep.
So ends up about 400 minutes and 5 seconds behind, which I think, with the couple extra things that Jaejo kind of was doing at the end there, yeah, just kind of how it ended up.
Yeah.
But a very, very close race for a lot of this run too. And I just think ultimately just kind of came down to Paul getting to optimize his routes a little bit better, Paul getting to single dip pod instead of having to come in multiple times.
Yeah, the single dip pod was huge. I think the early to those, just by the early to those flippers helped some. So
For sure. I believe we are joined by Jaejo here.
Hey,
GG's.
GG's, man.
So I'm guessing that the flippers ended up being the difference?
Kind of. I think you both basically last location, or at least logically last location them. There was a while where it wasn't clear if you 100% had the logic and sort of could isolate down here are the places the flippers might be able to be. Once you went back to the Hera Big Chest, I think it was pretty obvious that you had it, and so that you were going to be getting them soon. Paul was obviously first to the flippers, because he actually stayed in logic pretty aggressively. So he didn't dip Eastern when he found it. He didn't do Dark Shopping Mall, so he hadn't found Pod. So it's just kind of like a combination of those things.
Yeah, Pod was pretty far out of the way.
Yeah. So he got to single dip that instead of going in because the bow was there. And he never got the spike tape bow. No, he full cleared Pod. And then after he got the bow there, he went and climbed GT, which got him the boots and put him in go mode.
Okay.
But then when he got to go mode,
the logic when trying to piece together, where the boots were, because I was missing 2 keys at the time, and there was nothing left. So,
it was one of those things where we were getting to down to almost nothing. It was okay, the Ice Palace Big Chest feels like it has to have something, but I think it actually has to have something big, like not just a key to unlock one thing. It'll have to be a flipper or a boot or a mitts or something like that.
Yeah, I think Ice was actually the first dungeon I cleared.
So
at that point, I was just wanting to get something
that is correct.
Board.
Yeah, and then you went back pretty quickly to Hera after it, and then ended up doing Thieves Town because you had already done Pod. And meanwhile, Paul sort of ended up in a position where he didn't have any of the Thieves Town stuff, but he got that hook shot. I joined a little bit late, so I missed the very, very early game. Rocky can talk to it better than I can. But at least when I came in about 40 minutes into the race, you guys were lockstep with each other. I think you guys were 7 seconds apart getting the fire rod or something like that. You had done the pod area. He had done the VU area. But on the whole, it was really, really close for almost the entire race. And it was really just Paul finding Desert in his first entrance checked there, and so not checking any other boots entrances. Getting to go mode Eastern Palace entirely, skipping the stuff in Thieves Town basement, just a bunch of little stuff that just kind of added up.
And then also finding Skullwoods right away. Went to grab the Smith and immediately, of course, hit Hammer Pegs and found Skull. Where you did a couple extra things first. So
yeah, it was my last location.
I was pretty sure that was the last entrance. I hadn't been tracking you well enough to know that you didn't have the Southwest Death Mountain cave.
Yeah, I got that one.
But once you went back there, it was okay, this is going to have to be Hammer Pigs. And so it was just a little bit of time bleed over time that just kind of eventually added up. I think if you had gone...
sorry. I
no,
thought
go ahead.
Small key was in Pod. So when I got the Thieves Town small key in the Hera basement, I was like, okay, maybe this is the silver bullet that I need in the seed.
Yeah.
And I took my time getting the rest of the entrances, but when I finally found Thieves Town, I got 10 arrows in the big chest. I was like, darn.
Yeah,
So
that's one of those where if you find a bad Thieves Town small key, you're like, oh my god, please have something. And you're correct. He never found the Thieves Town small key, because he got to pod and basically just like hit go mode at that point. So one thing that I did think was really, really scary. What had you going back into Swamp, or like what made you go back into Swamp?
In Swamp, I just didn't really have much left. So
Okay.
I got the ice rod that got me like a single thing, but at that point I wasn't skipping anything.
Yep, I was worried the mitts were gonna pull you out to understand like, oh, I can probably find Skullwoods now. And so I was worried you were going to miss the desert big, which obviously would have then probably become a last location for you. Not that you had all that much left. So... Not that you had that much left to last locate, but...
Well, I think the flipper is hurt enough.
Yeah, that was a rough placement. Like, logically, you obviously had to double dip ice. There was a world where you could have had that ice big, and neither of you did.
Where was it? I remember it was like a long time after I was actually in the dungeon, so I can't remember.
Ice big was Stalfos room in GT.
In GT?
So,
okay.
If he had the hammer when he found it and bomb jumped it, then he could have had the ice big his first trip through. He had already found GT by the time I got here at 40 minutes. Like I said, he had kind of done that northwest Dark World area versus your east. And clearly just didn't have the hammer, or was just decided I wasn't going to bomb jump it or something like that. So it was that could have been a dicey one, but it bit both of you. And both of you had the logic well enough that you said, hey, look, I need to go back and check this. Which is always a really, really good thing to see. Like, I immensely enjoyed this race.
Yeah, the opening of the seed was actually a lot of fun. So we got the Moon Pearl right away, the glove, the hammer on Old Man. So at least on my side, it's like everything opened up. And then the mirror and the activated flute on top of that. So I was just kind of surfing through all the connectors I can find.
I love those seeds.
That every entrance that I left behind isn't that far away, and I can pick it up later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it started getting to that point in the mid game. It was like, all right, so where's all my keys? Where's my items? Where's the logic going? And I eventually, and I remember fumbling where the bow was. So I had the pod big key, so I opened the Harmless Elway, and that was a single rupee, and then the bow ended up being in the front. And then Spike Cave, I just wasn't really interested in that. And I almost tried doing the Mimic Clip in GT, but when that first Mimic came back onto the screen...
But he popped back up to say hello.
Yeah, and then I started fumbling both of them. I was like, all right, yeah, I kind of lost this. So
it's one of those, you just feel your fingers. You're just like, I don't have this right now. And it's just sometimes better to stay.
Eastern might have been a graveyard ledge. So I went to Spike Cave before that. And then got Pod, got Eastern, which ended up not being there on the way back to GT for the climb. So.
Yep. And so it ended up with you doing a little bit more, but yeah.
Yeah, so I lost a little bit of efficiency, with the bow. So there's like you said, there's a bunch of little places. But overall, it was a fun seed.
I'll say it looks it for sure, and I think it was a really, really entertaining race on the whole. Switching gears a little bit. You are one of the relatively small number of people who went in and just smashed their face on every single option. How are you enjoying that this year?
The only time that came into play was week 1 when I faced Roz.
I remember I saw the week 1 matchup and I'm like, this is played with this is like, oh my goodness. This is going to be one.
That actually was the other race that I lost in the tourney. Because I can't remember what it was. I think I forgot about mirroring in Lost Woods to the back of Skull Woods. And GT was back there. and it had Fire Rod and Tile Room. And then Skull 3 was Misery Mire, and that's where the Moon Pearl was at.
That sounds
So
miserable.
I lost a lot of time.
That sounds awful.
At the very get-go. And Roz ended up beating me by like 20 minutes or something. I think I probably forfeited out of that one, but
That seems like a likely outcome when you do that.
yeah, I'm just hoping to get inverted one more time.
I don't know how you feel about it. I know what I'm sort of looking at. I kind of like, if I'm really tilted by a seed, I'll like glance at the race and be like, can I forfeit yet? Can I forfeit yet? No. And then once I hit go mode, I will do one quick glance, and then I will just close the race room until Ganon.
Yeah,
and
I usually have it minimized, but yeah, I'll pop it up. It's like, is he done yet? Is he done yet? Is he done yet? So I try to keep it out of the back of my mind, but
yeah. I mean, yeah, that'd be fun. Like, obviously, inverted is not a thing that a lot of people necessarily pick, but we've had I was really surprised when I saw how many people opted in for inverted on the whole. So I'd say it's not all that unlikely you get one, but
yeah, I don't particularly like it myself. Just it's like, you know, with the mixed up settings, you know, it can be pretty convoluted sometimes. So that kind of makes the seed, you know, a little more long and drawn out. And those are the type of seeds that I want. So a lot of my early game into even the mid games, like I still like have that in mind where I'm thinking about the end game. So it's like if something is a jet seed or if you just kind of hit a route, then that's like my Achilles heel. It's like there's really not much I can do about that other than hope I'm on the receiving end. You know, I'm on the good side of that. But
for sure,
yeah, the longer the seed, the better.
I definitely understand that. It's one of those like it's. I hate seeds where just like, well, I'm in go mode. It's 1:20, and someone could have finished 15 minutes ago, and I would just like not to think about this possibility. Yeah. Rocky, do you have anything else that you wanted to ask or add?
No, I think you got everything. It was, like you said, it was a great race to watch. 4 minutes, but didn't really feel that far apart. So, good luck on your next week's race. I know that next week's all important for you just right now, Jaejo, but good luck.
Thanks. Yeah, can't wait. And GG's to Paul, and thanks for putting on the restream, guys.
Yeah. I'll say thanks, Tom, and thank you, the trackers, as well, for doing the less glamorous and way more boring work. So I guess that's Jaxie and Tom, so I'm going to thank Tom twice. Yeah. Tom, do you have anything you want to cut in with? I don't know if you have any promotion.
Nothing I can think of.
Cool.
I am going to try to get one on tomorrow night, probably the 7:30 Eastern one. But, yeah. I got nothing. Thank you to everyone who came out to watch. Thank you to everyone who participated and helped. Thank you to the Racers for Racing. I'm going to send this over to the Otters, because I'm too lazy to actually find a raid target. And we'll see you next time.